Good day and hello there. This is for the Parameter Skills Training Unit, and as you know, this is one of the units which deals with giving out skills to people, whether in various kind of forms such as free tutorials or YouTube or anywhere you can find our skills training. So actually, we've been doing skills training on other apps such as Photoshop, Blender, Cinema 4D, Maya, and more. So we decided to give a tutorial on Adobe Illustrator, which is one of the Adobe software app. You can check out our tutorial on Adobe Photoshop too. I hope it sounds as helpful as it sounds right now. Okay, I'm gonna take a quick dive into Adobe Illustrator just to show you how the tools function. So I think I'm gonna click on the Adobe Illustrator. As you can see right now, this is the Adobe Illustrator. It's gonna take quite some loading and some initializing, and for your information, I'm using Adobe Illustrator 2020. Okay, Adobe Illustrator 2020, you can get it from the Adobe Creative Cloud. Just go to their website and you can get it right there. Okay, so you're welcome to the Adobe Illustrator app, and as you can see, this is how the app menu looks like. Okay, and you can see my recent documents which I've just done some few days ago. Okay, and you can see me about to create a new document, open some former documents that which are not present right here. You can see the list of documents in which I have done and used, and as you can see, I could just click this to create a new file easily in Illustrator. So it's like it's very easy to use Illustrator, and Illustrator is kind of used in terms of vector graphics. As a graphic designer, we know that there are three main Adobe apps you should be able to use, although we have other apps such as Corel Draw, Affinity Designer. But once you are dealing with Adobe products, there are three main apps you should be able to use, which is Adobe Photoshop, Adobe Illustrator, and Adobe InDesign. So those three are kind of paramount in the field of graphic designing, and you know, Adobe Illustrator is used in making vector graphics, while Photoshop is just rendered in pixel, which means the quality can reduce depending on how you use the file. But in Illustrator, the stuff is being vectorized, which means no matter how you resize it or enlarge it, the quality still remains the same. So Illustrator is kind of quite good for your vector designs, and I recommend it for making logos and other stuff such as that. So now let's take a quick dive into Illustrator. I'm gonna click on Create New. Okay, Create New. It's gonna bring some kind of tab like this, and as you can see, for mobile we have for web, we have for print, we have for film and video, we have for art and illustration. You know, illustrations can actually be drawn on Illustrator actually. So I think maybe with some few tutorials in the future, maybe by 2021, about March 2021, we can be able to do some few tutorials on drawing illustrations from sketch to paper, or even from photos to illustrations. Okay, so now let's move. So right here you can see some stuff right here. I can actually type the name of my document, which I can call tutorial 1, and as you can see right here, I've got some width and height. This is just the width and height of the stuff right here. Okay, if I choose 1920 180, it's going to tell you that this is how it's going to look like. If I choose this one or this one, it's going to tell you that it's going to look straight like this. So actually, if you are in graphic designing for you and you need to look at, you want to create a flyer, a poster, a business card, or any sort of that, you can actually go to canva.com/sizes to check out the preferred sizes for those stuff. I think they have the standard sizes, and you can use it to regulate the stuff right here. And looking at this stuff right here, if you click on this, you can see the pixels, your points, your pickers, your inches, your feet and inches, your yards, your millimeters, your centimeters and meters. This is just used for customizing how you want the size of your paper to be. If you find it on inches, if you find the stuff with IN, it means inches. You can find when you go to canva.com/sizes. Make sure you don't select feet. Okay, when you select feet, this is going to change to FT. Make sure what you're selecting is IN. Okay, if you're dealing with inches, IN, you can change it right here. Or pixels, PX, you can change it right there. And also, if I want to create a poster and I want it to be like this in a landscape form instead of a portrait form, just select this. So this stuff I'm going to enter switch immediately, because the width and the height are going to have to change to suit your preference, whether in portrait or landscape. Now I could also edit the kind of artboard I want. I could actually say order for more than one artboard, put it to 3 to 4 artboard, any kind of one I want actually. So as you can see, I can add a blade to it in case for printing. If I search, give it 3, and this is gonna be 3 all over. Though I could just unlock this infinity symbol just to make sure that the stuff is not really all true, but I'm going to put it right back there. And as you can see on advanced options, you can see your color. I want to choose the RGB color because it suits my eyes better than CMYK. So as you can see, also we've got the screen resolution. Now this screen resolution depends on the power of your GPU. So even if you have a much powerful GPU or CPU, just put it at the normal, which is just 72 ppi. And also your preview mode, put it to just default preview. The preview mode depends on how your GPU also works too, because the processing power of your GPU is going to depend too much on this preview mode. The preview mode is going to depend too much on processing power of your GPU. As in, if you have a very bad GPU which is not gonna that is not good at all, you might be having problem with the preview mode. It's gonna be slow, gonna be lagging and some stuff like that. So I prefer that I just leave it on default. Then more settings, that's if you want to do some bit of customization, adding of templates and stuff like that, but I don't think we're gonna be doing anything like that. This is just the legacy view. So I'm gonna press create, and it's gonna take quite some loading, and yeah, this is my screen. So firstly, in this tutorial, I'm going to take a quick dive through the tools right here. It's going to last in one, maybe just 2 episodes for this place, then another episode for this place and for the functions right here, then another episode for what is all around this place, so we can decide on this one, and another episode for this right here. Okay, to make sure we get adjusted to all the tools and interface, because once you know all the tools and everything, Illustrator is going to be so easy for you. And you can see the bleeds right here, the red lines right here. So let's take a quick dive into the tools. Now I know you're familiar with this tool. If you're not familiar with Photoshop or InDesign, no props with that. As long as you know the basics of editing, I'm going to have to move something, I'm going to have to rotate something, then you should know that you've known the basics already, because the tools here are quite simple. If you over the tools right here, you can see selection tool. If you over it right here, you can see selection tool. You can see the fact that as we're overlaying the tools, it gives you a preview of what the tools actually mean, and it gives you what the shortcut you can actually press to access such tools. So I'm going to go to just some quick tools right here, and we can get this started with. So right now I'm going to have to click on this and draw a simple shape. I could just give from the white color to red, and this is beautiful. So now this is a shape which is red in color with a black stroke. As you can see, with a black stroke, I can give it a different stroke, but that's going to be in another tutorial. So just draw this simple shape, and right here we have what we call the selection tool. Now this looks the same as this. We're going to get to that in a minute. With the selection tool, I can click and select on anything, including this shape, and I could just drag this anywhere I want to drag. I could readjust the sizes by clicking on the edges. I could press this cycle and change the way the stuff really feels, the radius of the ends of the stuff. I could change I could move it just like this anywhere I want to move it. Okay, look, I could move it anywhere. This is beautiful. I can move it left, right, anywhere I want to move it. So that's just the power of the selection tool for selecting objects, for transforming objects, doing the radius, and doing a lot of cool fun stuff. So now you may be wondering that what's this one gonna be about. Okay, I want to get to that in a minute. So now we have the direct selection tool, which you can access by pressing A, and it's a very good and vital tool for your design. The tool is so vital for your design, as in, trust me. With the direct selection tool, you can access. Now, let me tell you something. Right when you see the down part of this place, when you see something white at the down part of this place, it means it has a sub tool. And to access the sub tool, you can just click on this stuff, and the sub tool panel is gonna show. So as you can see with the sub tool panel, you can see the stuff. You can see we have direct selection tool and the group selection tool. We'll get to the group selection tool in a moment. Now, if you want to detach this plane, you can just click on this, and it should be out in a minute. You could just click on this and drag this out. So yeah, I'm sorry about that mistake. So to just actually put this particular box out of this row, you can just actually double click on this, and once you do that, you can find it out. It is actually a box that you can just carry out around where you want to carry it to, and you can just click this to just minimize it, and minimize it and adjust it again. I want to click X to cancel this out. So I hope you get the hanging of this one. So now direct selection tool is used for selecting anchor points or shapes. Now those small dots you can see right here, those small dots, they're called anchor points, and you can see it. Yeah, it's right here and right there and right there. So when I click on it, I could actually do a lot of stuff on it by double clicking on it. I could move the anchor point like this. You see, I am deforming the shape. Deforming the shape the way I really want it to be. Okay, I can deform it left, deform it right, as in I'm building something with the anchor, with the direct selection tool. So that's the difference. So to access the anchor point, click on the shape, double click on the anchor point you want to edit, and you can start to move it the way you want to move it. So that's just how to use the direct selection tool. So now let's go to the group selection tool, which is right here. So you're not going to be using most of the group selection tool, but this is for selecting groups within groups. Okay, for selecting groups within groups. I'll make a complex example for that. So now the next one is the magic wand tool, mostly just for removing most of your images. Let me give you a preview, just 1 minute. So yeah, we've got a lot of tools right here, and we have been trying to explain them for a very long time. Okay, so let's take a quick dive through. Now the group selection tool is actually very useful for selecting groups within groups. What I mean by that is that with the group selection tool, you could do a lot of stuff. For example, if I group this together, I could use the group selection to select just one of the groups. As you can see, that means the two groups don't get to select at the same time. I only get to select one of the groups. The one I selected is the one in which the anchor point is visible right now, as you can see. But if I double click on it, I'm going to select the two at the same time. So I think this one should be under the direct selection. So I don't know why it's under the so I think it should be under the selection too. I don't know why it is under direct selection too. So now the next one, which is the magic wand tool. I know you are new to this tool. Well, it's actually very useful in Illustrator. What you can do with the magic wand tool is that you can actually, when you double click on it, when you double click on this, you can actually customize how your tool is gonna be. Okay, because once you have to about the magic wand tool, is the fact that you have to select something that looks exactly the same. Okay, I'm gonna give you a quick preview of that. Okay, and I'm gonna delete this, and I'm gonna draw a circle, and I'm gonna take my time and draw. Take my time and draw another circle and give it a yellow color. So now with the magic wand tool, if I click on this won't click because it does not have the same property. This is red, this is orange. So to use the magic wand tool, you select stuff that look like the same thing exactly. Well, I'm gonna show you an example. Okay, look at this. I think I've got yellow color right here, and I'm gonna draw a circle. Then I'm also gonna draw a circle. I'm gonna draw a circle. So now none of those shapes are being clicked, but once I use the magic wand tool to click on just one, the rest get clicked because they have the same properties as this shape, the same color, though not the same size, but they have the same color and the same everything. And to customize this magic wand, you always double click on this, and you will see the stuff you're meant to customize right here for the kind of shape you are looking for. You can increase and decrease the tolerance, and when you increase and decrease the tolerance, you can affect the selection of the shape. That's all about the magic wand tool. Now about the lasso tool. This lasso tool is very, very important. Okay, I'm going to show you how important it is. Now it's used for just selecting anchor points of shapes. Now once I click on this, you can see the anchor points are now visible. Look, the anchor points of the shape, they are now visible. That's the use of the lasso tool. Now the infamous pen tool. This is the pen tool, and as you can see, under the pen tool, we've got some crazy tools underneath the pen tool, which you're going to be scrolling on the next few minutes. With the pen tool, you could draw shapes and curves. In the next tutorials of Adobe Illustrator, we'll take a quick dive into the pen tool, pathfinder tools, and many other tools, which are amazing. So that's what the pen tool can be used for. And now with the pen tool, I could just draw a point. Now with the second part of the pen tool, when I click on this, add anchor point tool, I could add anchor points in the middle of the point. You can see I am adding anchor point to the middle of the line I just drew, and with the new anchor point, I could do a lot of stuff. Okay, so I'm gonna to delete the anchor point in which I've created. Maybe I made a mistake. I could just press this, and you see it's getting deleted. Okay, as you can see. So now there's no deleting I can do with the anchor point tool, which is right here. I could change the way the anchor point moves. Okay, I want to create a parabola. I want to create this right here, draw the curved line like this. With the anchor point tool, I could do a lot of stuff like this. Okay, this is kind of quite interesting too. Now the next one, which is I really noticed, is the curvature tool, which is kind of quite interesting to use. I can just click on the curvature tool, and you see I can create curves, various kinds of curves, just like it's an advanced curved pen tool, and it's kind of quite useful. You should try it out sometime. That's just all about the curvature tool. Now next tool, which is the text tool, as you know, is all about typing of text. I could just do a lot of stuff like adjust my text, and using that I can just set this to 72, and whoa, my text is big. So that's just it. So now I think we'll go to selection 2 and delete this. So now look at this right here. I could change the font. Now maybe in next tutorial we tutorial how to import fonts into Illustrator and some stuff into Illustrator. You can change to italic, bold, okay, anyone I want actually. So I could adjust the paragraph panel, go to the opacity, decrease and increase the opacity. I can also come here for the major adjustments, in which I can adjust the height between the letters, if it's a paragraph, the height between the two paragraphs, as in we're supposed to explore much of those text too. And with this you can see some cool functions. You have the area text type too, which means you can type just within a particular area. Okay, so now to type within a particular area, let's create this kind of shape, and I'm gonna take this too, and before you know it, I can type within this area. As you can see, this is the area type too. That's a very brilliant tool, trust me. Now next to which is here is the type on the path tool, which is kind of quite interesting. I can type on the path, so I'm gonna take this, and when I get to this place, you're gonna see part. When you see part, is that when you get to the edge of the stuff, just click on it, and you see I can type around the circle. That's a very brilliant tool. You should try this out sometimes. Another one which is also kind of quite important, also the vertical type too. I could type vertically, as you can see. Oh, this is so good. So I could type vertically too, and also if I go to vertical area type too, I could type in the vertical way. That means if I was like this, I could just take the vertical area type too, and like this, and you see I can type just straight vertical inside a shape. This is so cool. Now another thing about it is the vertical type on the path too. Okay, the vertical type on the path, which means I could just put this right in, take the vertical type on the path too, right at the center, and look, I can type vertically on a type too. So that's a very brilliant. These are brilliant text functions. You know, on previous versions of Illustrator, these are not really much available, but now it's available. Oh, so I'm supposed to click this and draw a shape, and click this and come here, and you see I can type like this on the path too. So that's cool. Now another thing you need to know is the touch type too, which means that when let's say, okay, I typed, okay, with the touch type tool, I could select a character and customize it. Look, I'm customizing characters. This is so cool. I could shift this left, I could enlarge this, I could, I'm trying to customize the character. So that's all you need to know about the text tool. It's kind of quite good and cool. Yeah, trust it's cool. So now the next thing to know about is line segment. So I can use it to draw subcrazy line. Just drag, yeah, I've got a line, just drag and drag, just keep on adjusting till you get it. Anyway, continue to drag and drag and drag and drag. So that's just how the line segment tool works. That's just about it. And under the line segment, you can see the arc tool. With the arc tool, I could do it the stuff from drawing arcs to drawing shape. Now you wonder the reason why you're not seeing anything. That's because I don't have the stroke on. So let's give it a red stroke, and yeah, so you see I'm drawing the stuff right here. So we also have the spiral tool. With the spiral tool, I could do a lot of stuff like draw spirals. Ooh, this is cool. Now also I could also use the rectangular grid tool, draw rectangular grids all over and over. Also the polar grid tool, yeah, you draw polar grids all over and over. I don't know, so these tools are kind of quite important to me. I think I've never used them before, but you can actually make use of them in any design you want to make use of. The next one we have is the simple one, which is, you always miss that rectangle, so you can draw rectangles of all sorts. Customize the, I gave it a color red. You see, that's beautiful. Red with a this is an orange stroke, and also you can see I can draw a rounded rectangle shape. Look, this is so cool. Now another one is ellipse tool. I can draw ellipse also. From ellipse tool, I go to polygon tool, and oh my god, that's a pentagon. So wait, is this a pentagon? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, it's an hexagon. Yeah, that's an hexagon. Yeah, I could also draw a new shape, right? I could use the star tool to draw stars. Wow, beautiful Christmas stars. This is what I could draw. Now flare tool to draw, oh jeez, to draw flares all over and over the shape. Oh my god, I'm not gonna see my modes create a spacing in Illustrator. So let's just delete all this and pretend this never happened. So that's just a quick review about those tools. Now let's talk about the paintbrush tool, but that will be in the next tutorial. I don't want to waste much of your time. So that's all for this particular tutorial. Next tutorial we discuss more tools under this section. Okay, make sure you check it out. And also, if you love what we're doing, give us a thumbs up, and also you can also subscribe to our YouTube channel. Check out our other shows. We all have the skills training, facts and figures, questions and answers, Parachute Insight, Green Initiative. Just keep yourself busy with our videos, and we appreciate it very well. Share this with your friends if you love what we're doing, and thank you very much. Leave a comment below if there's something we've missed out on and any questions we have to answer. Thank you very much. Goodbye, and please stay safe.